Hello friends, my name is Dr. Huma Hassan and today I would be highlighting the core concepts in social cultural anthropology. Now, if you understand the syllabus of anthropology, it goes like this that, anthropology, if I have to define, it's a holistic, integrated, systematic study of human evolution. Okay, before I'll explain social cultural anthropology, I'm giving you background information so that you people can understand it better. So anthropology is a unique discipline. It become unique only because it highlighted it highlights the importance of biosocial approach. That means if you need to know the journey of mankind, how we have evolved, we cannot only see it or experience it or understand it through social cultural development. You need to integrate physical evolution as well. After all, it's only once we have evolved physically as Homo sapiens sapiens, we have started creating culture that eventually formed and it got functionalized or it got operationalized through society. Now, this is very fundamental to understand the differences between society and culture, how culture is different from society in a very particular manner, how it is very different to define community, and community is not an association. So these all are some of the fundamental concepts that we need to understand in social cultural anthropology. But I'm repeating again that to understand social cultural anthropology, you need to know a little bit, definitely the background information of anthropology. So anthropology is a systematic, scientific, integrated study of humans, mankind, evolution, and we need to understand our journey, how we have evolved physically, and once we have evolved physically, how we have created culture. Culture is basically survival instinct of our ancestors. We did have climatic change, we did have environmental changes, and our ancestors did not give up, they adapted. They adapted to the extent that they have changed their physical characteristics. And anthropology is a very important, systematic narratives about human evolution. You would see that in anthropology, you can see different research methods involved. If someone is conducting research in genetics, so they would definitely act and react and they would think like only biologists. By understanding the genetic markers, how we need to understand that even with minute changes in your chromosomal structures, it can lead to lethal diseases, that is chromosomal aberration. How it is very important to have genetic counseling, for instance, in order to save humanity. So anthropology is such discipline which is unique in nature. Why? Because of its biosocial approach. So because of its biosocial approach, we know that it is unique. It means that biologically also we are understanding how we have evolved, and also we are understanding socially how we have evolved. So this is something really important to understand. Now, if I'll talk about its branches, which I'm going to highlight today, it is mainly the two, biological anthropology and social cultural anthropology. Okay, in my previous lectures, if you'll see Anthropology Club by Dr. Huma Hassan, you would find that I have given plenty of explanation about biological anthropology, about the meaning of anthropology. Today, I want to highlight the core, the core explanation, which you might not get even in AI tools. Okay, so let's start our lecture with those details. Now, social cultural anthropology. How do we need to know? First of all, have clarity about the syllabus. Although you are going to see some portion of social cultural anthropology falls under paper 1, some falls under paper 2. Now, it begins with 2.1. Here you are going to understand the fundamental differences between culture, society, civilization. Okay, and then you should be knowing 2.2, which is talking about the nature of society. It is talking about social institutions. It is talking about social stratification. We do have social groups. In today's class, I would be highlighting in all of these concepts. Now, in this topic 2.1, there is very interesting topics, that is ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Okay, so let's discuss this. Now, what is social cultural anthropology? Now, to understand this social cultural anthropology, I would simply say the journey once we become, a modern humans, or if I'll go little back, so Homo sapiens, sapiens early phase, because to understand modern humans, again, we can have segregation, we can have different phases to define modern humans. Like the humans of today's time is very different. The contemporary modern humans are very different. If I'll talk about mainstream humans, how they were different from the early phases of humans, their culture, their beliefs, their lifestyles and other factors too. But this journey of social cultural anthropology only starts when we have created, when we have become Homo sapiens sapiens, particularly if, in anthropology, again, because we are trying to understand the phylogenetic status, so it can be argued that that journey got started when we have started developing tools. So Homo habilis. Now, Homo habilis is known as intelligent men. So it is one of the species, that falls under the category, under the grouping of homos. So they have developed stone tools. Then it only happened because they did have some rudimentary form of communication. Now, after Homo habilis, we do have another remarkable species, that is Homo erectus. Homo erectus particularly definitely looks like us only, and we have developed some rudimentary cultural traits. For example, we have got fire, we have got rituals, we are singing, so that started at that point of time. So archaeologists, paleoanthropologists also say that, Neanderthal, who are very closest to modern sapiens, have got burial rituals. They have buried their deceased person. Now, so this is what we need to understand. Then definitely we have created a culture. But in archaeological manner, we can start it with hunting and gatherer state, where we can say about Paleolithic. Okay, so Paleolithic, lower, middle, and the upper culture. So what it is like? So we have created some sort of beliefs, some sort of beliefs and values, as I would say, and the ritual that handed over to the next generation. Now this culture is creating our thought process, and because of which we are living and exercising and implementing those thoughts. That is society. Okay, and then when the culture got advanced, it become civilization. Okay, so in 2.1, you should be knowing what is culture. So I would say that it started when we have, created some ways of life. For example, when we become hunter and gatherers, so we did create some structures. So we did have some economical fixed activities. We also did have division of labor. So we do have, at this stage, some sort of power dynamics. Also, we did have social life. Now, these are interconnected, interrelated, that gives a structure to society. Now, as I said, how to understand what is culture. So, culture is definitely, in a very easy definition, it's a way of life. Way of life means it includes your beliefs, your values, the norms. Okay, everything is defining. It is can be considered as culture. Now, how culture can be clear, that how we will define, will distinguish culture from society. So you can think like this, that culture is a content which we practice, and society is maintained by definitely a social group who share that geographical area, and in that geographical area they behave as per their cultural norms. Then what is civilization? Civilization, when humans have started making, developing material luxuries for themselves. Now we have got advancement of material culture, that is non-social facts as per Emile Durkheim. That is what you will call as civilization. Now here we do have very interesting topic which I have said earlier also, that is ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is a feeling in which you try to see other cultures from your own cultural lens. That is something you need to know. So ethnography is study of a culture. Ethnocentrism is a feeling of superiority. Now you want all other people, all social groups to behave in that manners. Cultural relativism got really popularized by Franz Boas. He said that we need to focus on historical particularism, and rather we need to appreciate cultural relativism. Cultural relativism is a phenomena in which we are respecting the diversities. Now there is one more catch. In the name of culture, or in the having in the name of, saying that we should appreciate culture, is it so that we can encourage any cultural traits? For example, if any culture is encouraging child marriages or sati or cannibalism, so do we have to encourage that? So anthropology says no. Any cultural traits, any cultural complex, any phenomena, if it is creating tussle, if it is creating major obstacles in the functioning of coexistence of human society, we need to abandon it. So definitely in the name of cultural practices, we cannot appreciate wrong actions done by us. So this is something you need to know. So I have given good explanation to all of you as per my knowledge, as per my little knowledge about the first topic. Now in 2.2, you have the nature of society. Now society is a web of relationship in which you are interacting within the groups. How do you interact? So once you are born, you are born without culture, you are born without society. It is through different agents we know how to live in a society. It is your parents who are actually telling you how to live in this society. Now in this topic also, sometimes aspirants have a lot of confusion, and UPSC in anthropology do ask questions like this. For example, they can ask you question on the differences between enculturation and socialization. Okay, so it can come for 10 markers, and UPSC did definitely ask question on enculturation and this topic socialization in anthropology. So I like to highlight these two fundamental differences so that people should prepare for civil services oriented methods. So you need to be focused. How focused? You need to have clarity over the concept. So when humans are born, they go through certain cultural process. Okay, and what is that cultural process? So enculturation is a process in which one can observe and learn that how they have to live in the society. So they imbibe the cultural traits on their own. In socialization, different agents are involved. Now, if UPSC is framing question on it, how you'll do it? So this is what I really want all of you to get clarity. Make a tabular format, okay, and see enculturation. Enculturation is the learning that takes place without direct deliberate teaching, whereas in socialization, it takes place through agencies like family, school, peer group, and mass media. Enculturation leads to acquisition of ideas, concepts, and values in a specific social cultural context. So it is very much related to our culture, definitely. So we try to imbibe these values, these cultures on our own. Now, socialization is a general process that helps in development of knowledge, skills, dispositions that enable individuals to function effectively as members of the society. Now, encultural take place through observation, socialization take place through interactions. Different groupings, different people are involved in having interactions. So the effects of enculturation are visible in the cultural behavior of the individuals. The effects of socialization are to condition the individual towards socially accepted behavior through rewards and punishment. Okay, so these are some of the pointers which I wanted to highlight, and you can understand it more better. So this is again, I have explained, enculturation is the acquisition of one's own culture. And then there is one more term, acculturation. Now it is not socialization, it is acculturation. So acculturation is the amalgamation of two culture. For example, West and East, Indian culture or European culture, when they got met. So it's like refused. Enculturation is an essential requirement for survival. Acculturation is not an essential requirement for survival. In acculturation is not the first but second or third familiarization of various cultures. Okay, so acculturation is something you can see where subordinated culture had to accept, you can say, the formal culture. Acculturation where you simply learn in this manner that where two cultures get mixed. Okay, so this is acculturation. Now, when you people are learning about these fundamental differences, then only you can make justice, then you can be different from others. And trust me, you do not have to rely on various AI tools, you do not have to rely on various YouTubers content. Read it from, from different, I would say, mindset, not a casual one. When you are reading any book, you should have clarity over this. Why UPSC is asking this question? What was the PYQs on it? And when you approach in this manner, like in a story, like in an essay manner, where the way I have given a lecture today, right? So I've explained the 2.1, 2.2. So if you can correlate various topics in just one go, that means that your explanation, your studies, your content automatically will be different from others, which is the core requirement for clearing civil services exam. Thank you.